if you watched my last video, you saw that we got the greenhouse furnace straightened out, and so it's running now, and I've got it set to where we're keeping this greenhouse about 52 degrees. These big beef tomatoes right here are ready to be transplanted. I have got some flats that I bought years ago. They're actually tray inserts, but they're very deep tray inserts, and they're only 36 count, 6 packs. And I found that customers that come to buy vegetable transplants from us are not wanting a 6-pack of one type of plant. It's not that they wouldn't buy 6 tomatoes, but they'd much rather have a 3-pack of Cherokee Purple and a 3-pack of Big Beef and a 3-pack of German Johnsons instead of having to commit to 6 of one variety. So I've got all these brand new tray inserts that I'd bought for selling transplants that I'm never going to use for that, and I want to be able to grow these tomatoes out just as big as I possibly can in this small greenhouse here at home, because it's cheap to heat and easy to look after. Once we get them in the high tunnel, little higher maintenance over there, especially with the weather here in the 1st of February. These are we're probably looking at 3 to 4 weeks before these are ready to plant in the high tunnel, so hopefully our weather will be a little more consistent, but we don't want to run into some really cold nights, so we're going to try to grow these just as big as we can in here before we set them out in the high tunnel. So these 36 cell inserts are going to work really well for that, and I'll show you how we transplant our tomatoes. Let's get with it. Most important thing with these tomatoes is, in my opinion, is plant them deep. I'm going to take this is part of the reason for planting them in these 392 cell flats and then transplanting them before we set them out in the field, is I'm taking this plant right here and I'm going to plant it down almost to the leaves in this cup. Tomatoes are a plant that will put off roots off their stem, so you can plant them, I mean, if you can put them 3 inches in the ground, I don't know, I think you probably reach a point of diminishing returns at some point, but you can, the deeper you put them, the better off you are, because the stronger root system you're going to end up with. And we try to keep, we want our tomatoes, we want all of our transplants, but particularly our tomatoes, we want to be very short and stocky. So that's the reasoning behind all of this. So you saw me adding the water to the potting soil. I want my potting soil to be really good and wet to start with. That's always a good practice, but especially right now, we're in kind of a dangerous time of year. It is the 7th of February. So potential for cloudy weather right now, and cloudy weather in a greenhouse is not a good thing, because foliar diseases. When it's cloudy like it is today, you can see the sun hasn't been out all day. It's actually been raining a little bit today. If you water these plants overhead, even if you water them first thing in the morning, we have a misting system in this greenhouse, works really well. I think it's a netafim. Yeah, it's netafim. Works really well, but when you water overhead, you get that water standing on these leaves, little beads of water. And even if you water first thing in the morning, if it's cloudy like this in February, these plant leaves are not going to dry off. So they're going to sit there with water on them all day long, and that's how your foliar diseases get started. So we're starting with them wet. It's supposed to be good and sunny tomorrow. Have to keep an eye on them. Probably have to water them at some point tomorrow, but we try to really keep the watering to a minimum on cloudy days because of the disease factor. But it's always a good idea to wet your potting soil before you start anyway. Well, it's about to get dark on me here, and so I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I hope there was some information in here that was helpful to you. Stay tuned, got more videos coming. We're starting to get busy now, so I'm gonna try to be a lot more consistent with putting out videos. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.